Global markets are navigating a complex landscape today where promising trade breakthroughs coexist with mounting geopolitical tensions, climate disasters, and major shifts in the tech sector. Here's today's Zoom Out for July 2, 2025, where I help you see the bigger picture. In a significant development for bilateral trade, the United States has reached a trade deal with Vietnam that will grant duty-free access to a broad range of U.S. goods, including agricultural products, and potentially opening doors for sectors like large engine vehicles. Now, while the U.S. goods will enjoy zero tariff access to Vietnam's markets, Vietnamese exports to the U.S. will face a 20% tariff with a 40% levy on transshipped goods. Now, this deal solidifies Vietnam's importance as a key partner in U.S. supply chain diversification, especially with ongoing trade tensions with China. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? This agreement is more than just tariffs. It reflects a strategic realignment of trade flows and influence in the Indo-Pacific region. It incentivizes Vietnam to reduce reliance on certain nations to meet U.S. rules of origin requirements, impacting global supply chains. Pakistan is grappling with devastating impacts of monsoon rains and flash floods that have claimed the lives of at least 64 people and injured 117 over the past week. Infrastructure in some provinces have been severely impacted, and the Pakistan Meteorological Department anticipates a surge in monsoon activity moving forward, increasing the risk of further flooding. This situation underscores the growing market risk associated with climate change in South Asia, where the human and financial toll of the monsoon season escalates each year. The agricultural sector, particularly cotton and rice production, is under threat, while insurance and logistic companies are preparing for increased claims and disruptions. This ongoing crisis highlights the urgent need for enhanced disaster preparedness and climate adaptation strategies to mitigate the impact of extreme weather events. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? This situation serves as a stark reminder that climate risk is market risk. While the monsoon season is cyclical and happens every season, the intensity and unpredictability of its impacts are always exacerbated by climate change. This necessitates a shift towards integrating climate resilience into economic planning and infrastructure development to safeguard livelihood and ensure sustainable development. The Israel Defense Forces announced that they have apprehended a terrorist cell operated by Iran in southern Syria during a raid today. Reports indicate that this operation was based on intelligence gathered during interrogations of other operatives in recent weeks. This action highlights Israel's ongoing efforts to prevent Iranian-linked groups from establishing themselves in the region, particularly near the Israeli border. Brent crude oil prices rose on the news, raising concerns about potential supply disruptions, and there were also reports of defense sector stocks potentially rising amid these tensions. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? The situation in Israel reinforces the deep connection between energy markets and geopolitical stability. Events like the detention of Iranian-linked operatives by Israel can quickly trigger concerns about supply disruption, influencing oil prices and potentially benefiting the defense sector, as perceived regional instability increases the demand for military equipment and services. However, the specific extent and duration of such impacts are subject to various factors and market sentiment. So in this instance, while the detention occurred today and coincided with the rise in Brent crude, it's difficult to isolate what the exact impact of the single event from other ongoing geopolitical tensions or other market factors. A sophisticated cyber attack on Brazilian technology service provider CNM Software, which provides infrastructure for financial institutions, reportedly affected reserve fund operations at multiple banks today. Authorities are working to isolate the breach, which may have exposed sensitive financial data and disrupted real-time payment systems. The Brazilian central bank ordered CNN to shut down affected institutions' access to its infrastructure, and the company is cooperating with central bank and police investigations. Fintech stocks dipped in Sao Paulo, and regional digital payments volume slowed, while cybersecurity stocks globally saw a lift. So what's your zoom out takeaway? This incident underscores the interconnectedness and vulnerability of digitized financial systems. Microsoft has announced a significant layoff of approximately 9,000 employees, representing just under 4% of its global workforce. Now, this marks the company's second major wave of job cuts this year, following reductions in May. The layoffs are part of Microsoft's strategic effort to streamline operations and flatten the organization by reducing management layers, as previously indicated by CFO Amy Hood. The company is also rebalancing resources and increasing its focus on high-growth areas, particularly artificial intelligence and cloud computing. While Microsoft's share price remained relatively flat today, reflecting investor expectations of short-term savings, concerns have been raised about the potential impact of AI on the workforce and over-reliance on automation. So what's your zoom out takeaway? Microsoft's layoff, like similar actions by other tech companies, highlights a deeper structural shift in the industry. Even financially successful tech giants are undertaking significant reshuffling. AI is emerging not just as a tool to enhance productivity, but also as a factor driving changes in how firms perceive the value of human labor, leading to these large-scale layoffs. So here's the bottom line. In today's world, trade deals, weather catastrophes, geopolitical moves, cyber threats, and tech disruptions don't happen in isolation. They ripple across markets and economies globally. When the world zooms in on the noise, I zoom out to help you see the bigger picture. Which of today's stories do you think will have the longest lasting impact? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. My name remains Eniola Lunge, and I'll see you tomorrow.